Hi, this week I want to try and solve a winter problem that I have using two simple things, this Allen wrench and a broken valve for my ventilation system. Now, this problem might be just specific to my situation, but it's in my kitchen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. The whole situation starts up here on my roof. I have a mushroom cap exhaust where the vapor from cooking goes up out of the house. So as cold air moves over this, it falls down into the pipe and uninhibited goes all the way out and ends up in my kitchen. There's nothing stopping the flow of cold air. So I did a few tests with a cooking thermometer. I put the sensor right up top where the air is extracted and also the cold air now falls in during the winter. Outside it was 1 degree above freezing. The inside temperature of the living room was about 22 degrees when I started. And within 2 or 3 minutes, the temperature had dropped all the way down to 7 degrees. This means that in this part of my kitchen, ice cold air is being pumped into the house 24/7. When the temperature outside drops below freezing, the air coming into my kitchen is still at the freezing point. And here's where my Allen wrench comes into the story. I made 2 marks on the shaft. Basically, the first one was to cut it down to length using an angle grinder. You can also do this with a metal cutting saw, but I like sparks. The second line that I drew measured the depth of the cut I was going to make in this. The idea was to make a thin, deep slot that would later attach to the ventilation valve. This was a broken valve that came years ago with my ventilation system, and I saved it because I'm a hoarder. It's a simple mechanism where a step engine opens and closes a valve depending on the airflow demands in the house. With this one being broken, I used it because the step engine will keep its position even when it's turned off. I used my angle grinder to grind away the excess plastic so that the slotted Allen wrench would move into my valve. And the vibrations of the angle grinder made my tools dance all over the workshop. Then it was time to do a little test fit. I took the aluminum cover off of the range extractor and drilled a hole where the Allen wrench would eventually go into. The next thing I did was cut a box out of the scrap MDF I had lying around from the last project. I made some 45-degree cuts on the box so it wouldn't have any visible seams or fasteners. Since it was so cold outside, I took all the components inside to glue them up. This box will connect the aluminium hood cover to my ceiling, which is at a very strange angle. And as you can see, I built the world's most professional laser level tripod. I test fitted the box against the ceiling, made sure to check for level with the laser, and then screwed everything tight into the wall. I removed the bottom aluminium hood and the old tape that connected the pipe down to the engine. The valve ended up being the exact same diameter as the exhaust from the engine, and I used some aluminium tape to connect the hose to the valve. Oh yeah, and I hated the color of the Allen wrench, so I spray painted it gold. And since I ran out of aluminium tape, I used some black electrician's tape to tape up the bottom part. Then it was time to fish through everything and try to connect all the pieces together. And voila! The top of the hood slid into place and was fastened using some wood screws. The last piece was a little tricky to connect. I used some wood glue on the long sides and added CA glue to the corners in order to hold them while the other glue dries. Basically, the crazy glue sets in seconds and the wood glue would take a little longer to harden. In Belgium, we call this fantastic thing the DampKap, and I can only refer to this thing as a flap. Therefore, this creation will be forever known as the DampKapFlap. So that's basically it. I know that this problem is very specific to my situation, but I never understood why manufacturers don't put these types of valves in. Now I can go through the winter in peace without there coming ice cold air into my kitchen all the time. And now it's time to cook. I redid my test with the same outside and inside temperature, and in this case the inside temperature only dropped by 3 degrees.